Welcome to the Marvel Snapcast. Now, today we've decided that we are going to switch up exactly who's doing who. So today, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the one and only ItsGuestGaming posing as Mr. 100% himself, SuperTechGod, also known as Ken. With me today, I've got the top 5 best snappers in the world.
The top 5 best snappers in the world. Sino, because I snapped that hot fire, you heard?
100%. Fantastic. 100%, man. That's great. That's great. I agree.
And of course, we here with our extra guest. You know what I mean? Of course, his name is Guest. Shout out to Guest.
Welcome, folks. It's ItsGuestGaming, and I am the king of the epic sax party. Let's go, y'all.
We have DMCA to worry about. You had a 7-second limit. Stop, okay? We cannot be canceled.
I did it.
Because you sang too much. Sorry, no, this is Ken. No, that was great. That was great, man. That was great. Yeah.
Oh, man. I had to rock the chain and everything. I had to be Sino for the night.
Yeah, by the way, can we acknowledge, I know our audio listeners can't enjoy this, but we did not call each other this morning, nor this afternoon, nor this evening. But somehow, all 3 of us ended up with a solid black T-shirt and our gold chains, rocking them out. All rock, like we all got I'm missing a hat.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's different between the 3 of us, and that's what we're gonna stick with. But like all 3 of us showed up in our solid black, like we're ready to be a stage manager for a local Broadway production. I'm gonna hide my chains just so I look different. Like Jesus.
Oh man,
oh man, I don't know how you do that, bro. How do you? I'm tired already doing those damn epic sax parties. It's like
imagine doing 38 of them in 24 hours. Okay,
is that why there's a cap?
Yes, that is legitimately why I have a limit on 1 epic sax party per 30 minutes, because otherwise I'll be just physically dead. Because all you fuckers will just go everywhere with button, make the monkey dance and button.
Make the monkey.
He's right. Because I have enough gold
channel
guest
points.
Coins.
Yeah.
Yes. That I can make him dance all episodes, just for real.
Damn right. Every single time he shows up, boom, done. Same thing with King of Canada. He does it every single time. Boom, he's there.
Must be our kids, because baby girl loves it. When I put it on, she's dancing. Yep, she's dancing with it. So
he does it for his daughter. 100%.
See,
for school. Yep.
See, there it is. There it goes. See,
all right,
check out Guest Stream if you guys want to see him dance. All right, push that button like he said. Dance.
Even that sounds weird. Go to his stream where he dances. All right, let's move through this though. Let's move through this though, because I'll be the one that puts a disclaimer out, because apparently I'm Ken today, so I got to do it the right way.
Of course.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get lower. I feel like, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Stay with the
ladies
chest.
and gentlemen. Yeah. Say it with the cojones. Ladies and gentlemen.
Cojones.
That just hurts. Just so y'all know, we are recording this midweek due to life and other obligations. So many of you have already heard that the OTA for this week was leaked. We're going to go forward with this conversation prior to the OTA, assuming the OTA is 100% correct, because the last time the OTA came out like this, it was 100% correct. And I don't want to put out there into the world how it was leaked, so y'all can do it too. I don't think that's our job. It's their job to fix it. But let's just say that we're going to talk about the OTA as if it's right and nothing has changed. So this is the OTA leak. But by the time you listen to this, the OTA will be out, and it may, keyword, asterisk, just cover all our bases. It could be different.
That's right.
Correct.
Beautiful.
That is correct.
Where do you want to start? Where do you want to start, good sir?
So let's start. I want to start with, of course, if you guys didn't see last week's episode, go watch it, because we gave our own predictions of what the OTA would have been. This was what, days before it leaked?
Yeah.
And we must say we got most of it right. I mean, shout out to Sino, who spoke about Captain America. That was crazy, right? And of course, our guy over here, guest called Sentry to the T. Perfection to the T. All right. We spoke about a bunch of other things too. Sino went ham on Leech. And of course, now Leech in the OTA Leak
I got
might
y'all back.
change
Let's
as
go.
well. I mean, listen, that's what I want you guys, that's what I want to start off with. If you guys want to hear the future of Marvel Snap and what's going to happen, you heard it here first. You got to come hang out with us. We'll make it be known. So let's kick things off with this wonderful OTA leak. Now, again, like Guest said, this is a disclaimer. But we do have photos of it. A lot of people had leaks, photos, images, etc. We're not going to discuss how it happened, how it leaked. Nonetheless, it was leaked, and I feel we're going to have some fun just talking about it, because I think if these things do happen, if it is actually the case, we're in for some spiciness come tomorrow. So kick things off, of course, this is it right here. Captain America, like I said, Sino mentioned, we want to give Cap some love. People have been talking about this forever, but until Sino said it, there it is. Second and made it happen. So now Captain America goes from an old 3-3 ongoing. Your other cards here get +1 to now he's a 3-2 and ongoing. Your other ongoing cards here get +2. Now, a lot of people was like, why just the ongoing cards? But guess what? Cards like Spectrum with that variant that we don't speak of, and of course, everything going on crazy right now with the ongoing meta. This only makes sense. I think it's a great change. You guys see it. We'll start with you, Sino, since you spoke about Cap. How you feel about that OTA change?
I don't want to toot my own horn, but I was, and it wasn't quite there. I started off on 3-2, right? Because that's what I thought it should have been from the jump. But I would have preferred a 3-3 to make things fun. But y'all call me like impractical and that mess up the meta and all that. So I get it. All right, 3-2, cool with me. At least there's a change. The going to only ongoing cards kind of soured it a little for me. So I don't think it's as impactful that it could have been. But you know, I think one also would call us the Three Kings, right? Get it? Three Kings, Three Kings. As we call this shit. Let's go. All right, never mind. I digress. But yeah, I think it could have been more impactful, but it was a change. It was something. It's +2 now. So there's, you know, they still got to keep it simple because it's in the lower pools for, you know, people who are just starting to play the game. So I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I know you spoke about this before. We both we thought about Cap, just his shield being something like Mjolnir. I mean, they did something. They did make a change. At least they did something. What is your take?
This is almost, keyword, what I had said during the episode too, which was the 3-2 that gave +2s. That's what I wanted overall.
Yeah.
And then when I read this version as the 3-2 that gives +2s to ongoings only, this is acknowledgement specifically for Series 1. This is them saying, look, this is one of the first cards you get in the game. And reinforce that when you start playing Marvel Snap, what's the best Series 1 deck? Ongoing. So let's make Cap a really, really good card in Series 1. But in late game, once you now have 200 cards in your collection, if you really do want to go down that synergy path, now you really can. And I think the unspoken synergy in this Captain America one that I think is best is Iron Man, because now Cap and Iron Man have a great ongoing synergy together that reinforces each of them individually in that lane. So big fan of that little addition to it, because it helps preserve the early game experience, which I know Second Dinner is so worried about at all times, but simultaneously makes a lot of sense for what the card wants to do and what it's supposed to be specifically targeting with that ability. So it's a little asterisk to what we had. I liked it though.
That's pretty good. Now I totally agree with that, and I think Cerebro 2 definitely gets love from this as well. Because now your Cerebro cards, your Mystique, and then like you said, Iron Man, all in one lane right there. That's all +2s. Everybody's 2s. That's just bananas. But nonetheless, Spectrum now got a nerf, of course, from 6-7 to a 6-6. Still gives +2. Like I mentioned before, Cap change was pretty different as well. So they kind of want to, I guess, make the cards a bit even, especially with it being so powerful how Spectrum has been. And now adding Captain America to the mix of giving ongoing cards +2, they had to kind of nerf Spectrum. What's your take on this, Guess? How you feel about it?
It's nominal. to me. Like, it's really not a big deal that they took a power off of Spectrum. It's the okay, if we're gonna just add more power, where can we shave one off? How about Spectrum? Does she matter? Yeah, it does. All right, fine. Let's just take. We gave a big adjustment by giving her all those pluses earlier on. So, all right, fine. Let's shave her down.
That's fair. I think that's exactly what they did there. Sina, how you feel about it?
That pisses me off. Why does Second Dinner hate 7 powered cards? Why do they hate it? Why do they hate 7 powered cards? Every time there's a 7 power card out there, it gets nerfed. Every time. What's wrong with the number 7? It's not as good as the number 5.
It's odd.
Like, what's the problem? Why take it down to a 6/6? What's the point?
7's like the buff spot, though.
Like you said, it doesn't make it.
Right.
Look at Sandman.
Why do they hate 7 power cards so much? I hate it. That's my opinion.
You don't play Spectrum.
Could have kept her. So what? Wow. You asked me what I thought about this, and I gave you my like. What do I have to play the card now all day?
Yes, you are forced to play the card.
You don't play Cerebro,
but
you was just talking about Cerebro 2 seconds ago.
I play Cerebro, just not Cerebro 0.
You stick to Cerebro 3. How about
Captain America over here?
Yes, on to the next card.
Exactly.
Luke Cage goes from a 3/4 to a 3/3. Luke Cage was a 3/3 at one point. They did buff him. They did the crazy change where he only protected the cards in that one lane, which we all hated. They put it back. Now they just brought him back to a 3/3, which I think is fine. Again, they have to do nerfs and buffs. And like Guest mentioned, we got to shave some power off somewhere. So why not do it on Luke Cage? Keep him a 3/3, make him a 3/3. And to me, doesn't really bother me.
13 months running. Let's go.
Here we go again. It doesn't really bother me, him being a 3/3. I think Luke Cage is still one of the best 3-cost card out there. I mean, if you guys see the ticker on the side, who knows, he might show up in one of our lists. But Luke Cage being a 3/3 doesn't bother me. Sino, I know how you feel, but please let them know how you feel.
Why? You know what? Why? Why does he have to be a 3/4? I don't understand. What
3/3.
I mean 3/3, excuse me. He was a 3/4. It was perfect. It was fine. Why take him down to a 3/3? But you know what? For balance sake, it doesn't upset me as much as the Spectrum because they hate 7 power cards. I don't understand. What's the problem with 7 power cards? All right, I'm good. Guess I'm gonna let you take over. It doesn't upset me as much as that one.
He plays Luke Cage.
I do. Look, everybody's talking about, oh my God, it's back in Cerebro 3. You know, we can put Luke Cage in Cerebro 3. It's fine now. It's safe. And da-da-da. Honestly, I still think Cerebro 2 is better. And I think even after the Captain America buff, where it's basically the I don't believe in Enchantress deck version of Cerebro 2.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say that.
You just have to believe that Enchantress isn't real. You know, as long as you don't believe in Enchantress,
Chi isn't real.
Exactly. But the thing is, Chi used to be in 40% of decks. Enchantress is in like a quarter of that. So I can live with that. Like comparative.
True.
That's absolutely fine by me. But Cerebro 3
those odds better.
Protecting those locations, you know, and those effects a little more so. Yeah, I think there's something to be said that Cerebro decks have more pieces coming to them starting, you know, with this OTA adjustment, if it went live the way that we're looking at it prior to OTA.
Right. Okay. All right, listen. Yeah, I agree. Not too much craziness happening there. Let's check out the rest of these awesome screens of what could be, again, the OTA. We're not sure. We can't
it's
call
probably
it,
the OTA because they're listening to this like after it's already came out. Remember that. So we're ahead of.
True.
We are in the past to our listeners. We are projecting the future upon them because we don't know, but we do know, but we don't know because we know. You know,
we the 3 Kangs.
That's right. Baron Mordo, ladies and gentlemen, was a 2/3 on reveal. Your opponent draws a card. Set that cost to 6. Nobody plays Baron Mordo. I try to play him in the Ronin deck, but nonetheless, his new ability is pretty cool. On reveal, the top card, not the top 5 snappers, but the top card is going to have a 6 cost all the way until turn 6. So now you eliminate the fact of giving your opponent a card, helping him with a draw, because of course, if that card was a 6 cost infinite anyway, that wouldn't have bothered you. But now you don't give them a draw. They don't draw anything. What happens to them is when they do draw, however, that card is going to be a 6 cost. wow, they really wanted Baron to be played with. And I think I found some amazing ways to actually use Baron, maybe even mix it with Grandmaster or even do some cool things with Odin. Who knows? But I really want to try this new Baron Mordo out. And hopefully by the time you guys are watching this, we do. But let's start off with Sino. How you feel about this change, bro?
It's cool. It's cool, but I like the fact that it goes back to. But I like it in as far as it played against me. I don't really play Baron Mordo that much. So if it's played against me and my card and then goes back on turn 6, I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'm good with that. Let's do it.
But you know, it shuts down a lot of things. Like
it shuts down combos, like right? Yeah, your surfer combo. Yeah. It definitely it still packs a punch, you know. But yeah, I like it. It's pretty cool. I'm good.
Okay, guess how you feel about it?
I think people overall are underrating how awesome this card is going to be, because this is going to be an incredibly toxic combo. You think you hated Mill? Just wait until you get just wait until you get Baron Mordoed on 2, Black Widowed on 3, and then Absorbing Mand on 4, where you just don't draw. You don't draw anything of value except your opening hand and one other card. You get 5 cards to work with, and then Jack Diddly Nada afterwards.
Yep.
I am completely okay with that combo, because it will be another one to add into all of the toxic, awful chaos.
Darkhawk, here we come.
Oh, yeah. Well, Darkhawk to a degree, you know, because of the Black Widow, sort of. But I think the Mordo combo, you know, is mainly to mess up, like you were talking about. It's to mess up the combo decks. And whenever combo decks get incredibly successful in Marvel Snap, it normally means it's a very healthy meta, because they can survive. There is no one specific deck that's incredibly tall that we are just like, you know, this is the Swiss Army knife deck. You know, this is the Loki in its prime, or the Thanos in his prime, where this is where the only deck you should really be playing, right? We don't have that, because combo decks then, like Phoenix Force and Negative Tribunal and these kinds of decks start to come to rise. And this is the replacement for what Leech was doing. This will be a very big card for interference, because more often than not, you're trying to set up your combos on turns 3, 4, and 5. And that change to Baron Mordo all by itself is a huge change with decent stats that it bricks an entire draw. Because how awful does it feel to pull a rock that Korg put out on turn 1 from your opponent, right? You hate that draw, because now you're like, oh, crap. Now imagine the even worse feeling of you got a card, but it's that Ghost Spider that you needed on turn 5 to do your combo, but now you can't, because you can't even use it until turn 6 at its regular cost. So this is a very, very big change, especially in conjunction with the other one below it.
So I assume that Mobius will put your card back to its normal stat. Yes, Baron Mordo makes it a 6. So I mean, there go your fix for it, guys. If you're feeling the you know, just play Morbius. Triple M. There we go. Mobius. There we go. I was right the first time.
Get him. Get that. You want to get away with that?
Well, no. I listened for episodes, plural, of you struggling with the difference between these two cards, man. One has fangs. One's on a TV show. One had a bad movie. Okay, like.
He's right.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Definitely bad, but nonetheless, Grandmaster, ladies and gentlemen. I love this card. Love this card when it came out. Loved it. It was a 2-0 because you could definitely put it in a negative deck. Loved it even more when Sage came out. Now it's a 2-2, which I think it's fine. I'm not mad at the change. I think Grandmaster needed that love because it felt like a cheaper Armin Zola sometimes. So the fact that it has 2 power, I'm pretty happy with it. It's a pretty cool thing that they did to it. But I mean, with it not having 2 or not, I still would have been happy. Nonetheless, I like the change. Yes, what's your take on the change?
I'm sad. I'm sad for this card.
Why?
Because I can't get the Ravona bonus anymore. And that to me was, I think, more valuable than the power. Yeah. Like if this was a 2-1, this would be in so many decks. But because it's a 2-2, it's a very niche clause still. Just compensating for that feels bad feeling. I get why they're adding the power, but they removed
Yeah.
one of the most important synergies for that card in the process. So I'm a little.
So speaking on that, you think they'll keep it at 2-2, or they will probably put it back
They'll
to,
keep
or
it.
probably put it to 2-1?
Nah, they'll
They'll
keep it
it. All
because
right.
that would be if this card gets out of control, then they would bring it to 2-1. But I don't see that happening with this card. I think this card is in its final resting place.
I think you should make it a 1-2, because once it's utilized, you're fine. You get Killmonger, you won't care. But I think a 1-2 will be a better set for it.
That's scary. That's even scarier in my opinion.
Well, I know, but that's pretty good.
That's scary.
Sino, how about you? How you feel about it?
I like the power buff. I'm good. We can move right along. This was dope to me. Yeah, it was awesome.
Werewolf by Night. A lot of people have been not crying, but they've been begging.
They've
been begging and pleading for this card to go back to a 3-cost. And second dinner, as they always do, listen to the fans, listen to the people, and they make changes happen, guys.
Yeah.
So again, this is a great change. This is one of the best changes in this OTA. Werewolf by Night is a fun card. I played it in a move deck. I played it in a bounce deck. I played it in all types of card lists. And I think it being a 4, definitely you saw less of it, less play of it. But now the 3 back to 3-1. And it has the Ravonna love. And it has the Beast love. And you can do whatever the hell you want with your on reveals. And oh my gosh, yes. I love this change. Sino, you already said you loved it. Do you want to talk more on it?
Yeah, I love it. 4, terrible for the curve. Trash. Horrible. I hated it. 3 is fine by me. Let's go.
There you go.
Surfer cardless. Let's go. It'll go beautiful. Goes well with any on reveal you got out there. So I'm good with it, man. I love this change. It's they knocked down some powers, but I'll take that for the 3 costs. I'll take that for the cost reduction in the curve bonus. So I'm good with that.
Yeah, bounces back. Guess how you feel?
Yeah.
This specific change to 3-1 I have wanted since it turned into a 4-4. I have been craving this specific change on multiple streams, multiple podcasts, multiple I have wanted 3-1 at this for so fucking long. And now that we have it, I have one worry. And I hate to say it because it's going to remind people that this was a thing. And by the time they're probably hearing this podcast, it's probably already a thing again.
Uh-oh.
And that's Werewolf Loki. And Werewolf Loki is a scary combo because now, yes, that Loki gets brought down a little bit. It's a 4-cost Loki. We don't have the collector synergy anymore, with all the, the same way that we had with Loki previously during that meta. But you still have a lot of on reveals, and you can still make a lot of on reveals via your Loki-ing simultaneously. This is a very big card and in a very good deck already. But I sat down on stream today realizing it and ended up making 4 different Werewolf by Night Loki variations alone, just because
it's your fault.
Yeah, it's my fault. But just because it was like, oh, this is scary. Like to find out what's going to be the best shell is going to be a very interesting navigation clause for everyone, because you can do like a little movers variation. You could do, is Angela, Quinjet, Kitty Pryde still the best variation? Or are we going to go back to the full on reveal, like Beast, Falcon, Hawkeye, no more Quinjet reliance type builds, because you want more on reveals to get your main win condition of Werewolf by Night larger. So it's going to be interesting to watch the re-implementation of this card, whether it's in the junk package, which fits organically now back into the curve where it was already very good. Now you've got a guaranteed flip. It's just wild thinking, oh man, we wanted this. And now realizing, ooh, you know what?
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah, we're going to get a lot of 3-9 Werewolf by Nights to deal with. So be ready for the reemergence of Shadow King, ladies and gentlemen, because it will be it will be big. It will be big again.
He's ready to show up.
First, Shadow King stock going up.
Yep.
Yeah, listen, we always say the right things here. I mean, funny enough, when these OTAs came out, the leaks, the guest mentioned like, wow, all the stuff he talked about in the past and currently, it's coming to fruition. And I go, yep, get used to it. Second Dinner listens to the podcast. Whatever we say, they make it happen. So, guess welcome to the Marvel Snapcast.
Speaking of the guy that personally killed Elias, I did that.
See,
You're welcome.
He fixed Elias. He fixed Leech. Right. He started.
Damn right.
What happened? What happened? Let's dive into it.
Out of Leech. That was it. Leech
it's all
gone.
our fault.
Yes. See, let's get to it. So now we're sitting here looking at the wonderful end of these leaked OTAs, or like we said, hopefully real OTAs. And that is, of course, the one and only card that we mentioned last week. Tell them why you mad, Leech. Leech wasn't buffed to afford to because people were complaining about Hela, and Hela needed something to be stopped with that whole Corvus combo, being able to play Hela on turn 5 versus 6. This was their, answer to it, I believe. Nonetheless, people spoke out about it, especially with Blink coming out and doing crazy synergies. I've played some matches where I get upset because you get leeched and then they play Blink. Blink pulls out Infinite. You're sitting there looking foolish. Nonetheless, they went and changed this back after hearing that wonderful rant from Sino last week. He's now at 5/5, guys. They gave him some extra power. They put him back to a 5 cost. You know what? Seeing this 5/5, Leech won't be played at all. He'd probably go back to the whole Lockjaw, but Lockjaw is a 4 cost. So you know what? Nobody's playing Leech. Leech is dead, thankfully, rightfully so. Guess what's your take on this 5/5 change?
I would give a moment of silence for the death of Leech if I actually gave a shit about the death of Leech. He needed to die. He needed to get back on his little spaceship, put his beanie on, and go the hell away. Because this was probably one of the biggest blunders of a card change that Second Dinner has ever made. And as much as you hate to see Second Dinner have to put their tail between their legs and say, okay, we get it. Y'all don't like it. Y'all spoke up. And the numbers in a week already showed that this was a bad idea. I mean, you released it at the time that you released Blink, which was going to swap it from the. How did you? Like,
what a perfect curve.
I don't know how they expected any other outcome, to be honest. I really don't. Like, I get that they were trying to defend the 5. Oh, hang on. I'm not done because I'm still mad at Second Dinner for making this.
He doesn't like when you talk about Second Dinner. He doesn't like it. You see how quick he jumps?
No,
like
it.
You can jump down my throat, but I will just pop you back up, motherfucker. All right, listen. Like, I swear to God, like the testing had a failure here, and this is something that I do want to acknowledge because Second Dinner's done a really strong emphasis towards how they do their play testing. They talk about the season passes in particular, right? They've now said that they do an extra month of testing on certain cards to make sure that the season passes come out right. And I think that was definitely the case for Blink, and they acknowledge, the synergy with Jubilee and the videos and like they had the right idea. The problem is with the OTA change, that was a completely separate timeline of testing, and their feedback wasn't received that way. Meanwhile, it took us about -6 seconds as a community to go, this is busted. This is bad. What are they doing? Did they not see this coming? Like that disconnect was the biggest miss. And I hope they learn from it because they've had a really good track record this year. But let's not do that again.
Are you done? You good? You're situated? Everything's all right? You got everything off your chest? How you felt?
Why? Do you need to fill out paperwork for my resignation now, good sir?
Ken does not like that shit. That shit is a no-go right now. That's in his book.
Let me break this down for a second. Chat, for all those who's listening and all those who's watching, look into my eyes. Let me explain something to you. I understand what Guest is saying. Guest is accurate in his comments. Mm-hmm. Yes, further testing was needed. This is a very huge mistake from Second Dinner, but we all know Second Dinner is a small company. They are growing, and testing is testing, and they did the best that they could do. But what they did do was something phenomenal, something so crazy and the best thing you could ever think about. And
What was it? Tell us.
they put this card in the hands of ItsGuestGaming weeks or days before it came out. And you would think Guess would have picked up that, wait a minute, guys, this Leech with this blink is a problem. You cannot release this card with Leech like this. But did Guess do that? No. Guess did not do that.
He didn't do
what
it? Why?
Guess did
really?
instead.
We're gonna go down this path now. All right. Hold on. I need my serious glasses. Hold on. Hang on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No. Now it's time to go behind the scenes. You see this right here behind me? Do you know what that is? That's the curtain. We're gonna throw it away for a second. Let's pull this shit back.
We broke the fourth wall. That's it.
All the walls, the fourth, the fifth, the second, the third, every fucking wall. Listen, okay. Here's the behind the scenes truth in regards to those Blink videos, with getting access to the server, because Mr. SuperTechGod himself knows this firsthand. Sino someday will. Promise you, we'll get that to happen.
Yes,
so when Second Dinner invites you to come be a part of their program to do a video for their YouTube channel, right? If you go do that, what ends up happening is they give you access to a private server where you can only face bots. You're not out there wild into the public and taking on X, Y, and Z. And they give access to what is just a future version of the client as is. The client version that I received was the week before Blink released. Any implementations on OTAs do not go live on future or current servers until they're manually added in by Glenn Jones by hand. That's quote unquote from Glenn. When OTAs go live, it's, hey guys, we're going to do the OTA live. I'll be back in an hour. Okay, the OTA is now in, and click live because he puts them in manually. With that said, the client testing that I had access to, I had the Jubilee idea that was obvious and ready to go. Ghost Rider made a lot of sense. Yeah. The Leech I had was a 5.3 like everybody else's. So any content creator, including Sino in the future, and Tech never fucking again, will be, because he's going to be fired from Second Dinner after this. He will clearly know and see that whatever the client update is for every other card outside of just early access to the future weeks card, that's what happens. Now, we're going to go one step deeper down this awful rabbit hole and say, how dare Cozy snap the week that Blink comes out prior to a Leech change being known publicly? How dare he put out a Leech at 5 cost synergy out into the magical world, and then we had the 4 cost Leech, and people basically adapted his deck into that play line. Guess what? That old Cozy deck is going to be another variation because Leech is going back into a 5 cost. And now it's more powerful because it's getting 2 extra power than what it had when in the very beginning of the month. The overall lesson here is when you're doing a video for Second Dinner, I want you all to know that when we get access to these servers, we have a very limited window, a very limited amount of time, and they're a lot of fun to do because you're like, I want to see all the cool things. I want to test the things. We don't really see much. Like I heard the background music before everybody else did. That was really it. And then I was like, okay, let's try the new card out. And it was very cool. And I could tell stories about that for another stream all by itself. But when we get to test these cards, I want it to be known for all of us in the content creator community. We don't know OTAs of the future unless if they get leaked like this one did. So how dare the host of this frickin' podcast come at me trying to defend Second Dinner where he makes his bread and butter clearly.
I'm surprised.
I know. Come at me saying, why didn't I warn the community, or why didn't I give this to the community? Why didn't I arm the community? I didn't.
Why didn't you go back to Second Dinner and say, guys, we cannot release this card. Look at what it's doing.
I did, but you stopped me because you work for them. Damn it.
I stopped you. Look at this, guys. You see this? Do you guys see this? I stopped him. This is great. See, we got Sino on the screen. Everybody's back. Listen, the way I look at it, I apologize. Wow. I thought you had access to the 4 something, the 4 2 weeks. So my bad. I'm about to say, because they gave you access.
No, it's all good.
You would have figured it out. But okay, I got
it's fun to let
that
people
back.
know about that from behind the scenes a little bit.
Of course,
too,
I agree.
Because it was a really cool experience. But
Yes,
like when you did the War Machine one, you had current versions, except you just had War Machine added into the collection, basically.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which was super fun. It was a great time. And the same thing with like you, we get it days before we have to submit our videos. And that was the craziest time because I had to go to PAX that weekend. So like I did a video and I definitely made a mistake on one thing and I just left it and I drove to Boston to go hang out with everybody in PAX, come back.
But okay.
And I'm like, in the car, I'm telling Sino, I don't really like this video, man. I had to do it so quick. He's like, nah, it's good. Don't worry about it. I'm like, all right. So there it is. The video was out, and now we're here. Nonetheless, like Guest said, it's super fun. Do these things for Second Dinner. As to why I'm the employee of the month, 13 months running.
13, yep. Let's make 14, baby. Let's go.
Yes, right. This is my second video I've done. One was Ravona, which nobody liked because nobody liked Ravona, but they love Ravona now. And War Machine, I still think is a great card. Nonetheless, on to the next card, which is Sentry. Now, as you can tell, Sentry, as we mentioned on the last video, we both said, Guess more so than I, said 4/8 with -8. Sino was like, why? Why should we do that? I don't like that. Stop nerfing cards. Leave their power. You guys watch that video.
If you're going to quote me correctly. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
It was pretty dead on, actually.
Yeah, you definitely said that. Why? I don't like that. Like because we like
good for me. Like it's good for like cool.
When they're gonna annihilate it over.
Yeah,
and we just like -8 will be better. Nonetheless, they did it. They listened. They made it happen. And now here we are. We have a 4/10 card that is now a 4/8 with a void of a -8.
Yeah.
So, Guess this is your baby. This is what you were predicting forever. How you like this change?
Go get him.
I'm shocked that they actually changed Sentry also to 4/8, but obviously not shocked because I wanted them to change the void to the 4-8. They kept the lore side of having them be equal, so +8, -8. And I'm a little shocked about that. But simultaneously, in reflection, looking at the fall of Shang-Chi, if you will, his play rate's gone down by half over the last 30 days. It's less of a threat, and it still has a downside. And in total, this is a 6-point change when all is said and done if you're playing this as the proper package of Annihilus. So that's overall a very large adjustment to the package of Annihilus and Sentry. So I'm pleasantly surprised that they've also reduced it down to an 8, but simultaneously sad that you can still, get it out and not have to worry about Shang-Chi. Like it's a double-edged sword, but I'm happy that they changed this specific package because it was starting to become a little overbearing because you just found it everywhere.
Right. Yeah. Yes, I agree. I mean, I was climbing this season. I'm at 95 right now. Prior to that, I was stuck at 80s. I was even thinking about going to an Annihilus package, but I was just like, nah, I can't do it. But yeah, we wanted this change. I feel a 9 and -9 would have been better only because -8 is a hobgoblin. So, they should have brought it down at least one time. But nonetheless, I'm happy we called the -8. That's the reason why I'm not mad. Sino, how do you feel about this wonderful change?
Not mad at it being -8. If you get a Nihilist over to me, not dying. It's like getting a goblin. It sucks. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but you work around it. I wish they would have kept it 4/10 -8 at least, but I get it. It has to mirror each other. So I'm good with that. I complained enough.
So that brings us down to it, guys. That is the full OTA leak / could be happening as of this recording. Now, I'm excited. These changes are needed. These changes are going to be awesome. Cannot wait to see what the meta looks like after these changes happen. Now, we do still have 2 cards left. One card left in this season, and I think it's going to go very well with these changes as well. And that card, of course, we're going to get into shortly. But first, let's start with this week's card that came out. Thank you. This
I'm
card
still
that came out this
mulling
week,
over Guess's
It's
point on
on the
Shang-Chi.
damn screen. Well, you can't see it, but like in the
Shang-Chi.
edit, it's on the screen.
Yeah.
So they're
Wait,
in the
you said the
videos.
death of
They're
Shang-Chi.
judging
I was
you.
like, wow.
Yeah, Shang-Chi's gone. Shang-Chi's
I was
not
still
being
mulling
played.
over that. I'm like, wow, the death of
because
Shang-Chi. So if that's
he's
the
right.
case, what about? Do you think they'll make him a 3 cost better for curve?
No.
No, nobody's gonna touch Shang-Chi.
No.
Shang-Chi's he's a necessary evil. He got to stay at 4. I would love him to be 3.
He needs to be
Right?
at 4.
So much fun.
You know what? I don't
4-1.
even care. Bring Zabu back, and then I'll be all right. But that's how I feel. Yeah, we need Zabu back.
Yeah, we need Zabu back. Definitely.
We don't get Zabu back. Give me back Chavez. You know what I mean? Give me one of those.
No.
Either Chavez or Zabu.
Chavez.
We want
back
people to
Surfer.
listen to this podcast. Why are you driving them away?
Bring back
Listen,
Surfer.
They're happy. They're loving the talk that we're talking about here.
They're co-signing.
Nonetheless, Namora came out this week. We all gave it our ratings last week. I've enjoyed playing. I've climbed with her, funny enough, plus 30-something cubes out of 17 games, 13-4. The combo basically was to either have Jeff or Nocturne on one, on the separate lanes, giving them the buff, putting her on Wong, adding Hope in there so we can get this out early, or using Kitty Pryde, getting her to a 12, task mastering, stuff like that. And for the most part, it worked. But of course, I also had a package in there where if I don't get Namora, at least I can do some cool things where I'm shurying on Wong or on Hope, playing Red Hulk at a 13 and doubling him up, and then playing Taskmaster in the armor lane. Nonetheless, Namora gives +5 to those locations. I think this is a unique card. We did give it some ratings last week. My rating still, I hopefully stands. I'm giving this a silver.
Okay.
What about you, Sino?
I'm not gonna lie. I think I gave her a low rating last week. I was wrong. I think she's actually pretty good. She's actually pretty good. I think she's a gold. If I gave her a silver before, and I think I did, and I think she's a gold. The Wong combination pulls is definitely can be lethal. It can win you games. Shout out to Guess. I've seen Guess doing it a lot. I've seen Tucker play it a lot. It works. I didn't think it worked, but it does. Yeah, shout out to PWROn. It does work, and I think I underestimated her just a tad bit. So I'm going to give her a gold.
Gold, okay.
Guess, shout out to you.
Yeah, I saw the light prior. Like originally going into the month, I was like, this is the worst card of the month. And then last week's podcast, we recorded it, and I bumped up my rating to gold. And I'm leaving my rating right there because when you do get to play her and get that combo to work, it's stupid good. It's absolutely really good. Ridiculously good. Because a 5/16 you can't sleep on, yet alone getting it to activate multiple times. It's a great combination card to make that happen. But the key word in that is if you can get that combination to happen.
Yes, exactly.
If you go to set up and you are too all in on getting the combination to happen and your opponent cannot, undo it in any way, shape, or form, you're going to win. But if they do one thing to interfere, or you have one location to interfere, one move to interfere, anything that can just throw it off just slightly, a Magneto at the wrong moment, even like one little thing completely screws up the combo and your whole deck is like a house of cards. But at the same time, any individual card that can allow my Jeff the Baby Landshark to get over 130 power solo. Yeah. That's a good card. I don't care what you say. That's a good card. Not a great card. Not a great card.
No, that's
but a good card
for sure.
It has to have other conditions to make it work. You have to have
100%.
like I was running like a surfer combo with Wong in there and hazmat in there, and so I had like different lines and options to make it all work. And that was probably that and the Black Knight deck. Those were my two favorite combinations for Namora, hands down.
No, I hear that, and I think people use I think you as well use Colossus. I see people use Cosmo.
Yep.
Those are cool ideas. Definitely like that. You can't do anything with those cards. So
Yeah, I've seen the Cosmo Nocturne being buffed like crazy.
Well,
Like that
Nocturne
was
definitely,
yeah.
That Nocturne is so
Jeff
good.
also being out there alone.
And Jeff,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
But
what made me change my mind. Like those cards so low in power were being procced up so high. I was like, oh shit, hold on, wait a minute. She's actually pretty cracked.
No, she is. And that's why I like her in that package I made, because if you don't get her, at least you can try the other route. You can go the Shuri into the Red to the She-Hulk to Taskmaster. You know what I mean? You can go that route, because if you bring back Chavez, and we definitely guarantee you're going to get Namora every term. But without it, this is what happens. Nonetheless, Namora, you gave it a go. Sino gave it a go. I'm going to give it the silver because, like you guys said, is a condition. You need to get her. Plus, make sure you have everything in play that your opponent does not disrupt. So, on to the next card. Coming out, of course, this week, or next week, sorry, is the last one, Sasquatch. This card, everyone, and I mean everyone, said this will be the best card this season. Now, it costs one less for each card you played last turn. So, of course, all the wonderful hit
What's the name of the card again?
Sasquatch. What's the problem?
Sasquatch.
What's the issue?
That was the first when you said it the first time.
Sasquatch. Sasquatch. Yeah, you guys will be all right.
It's like Adam Sandler saying it. It's just Sasquatch.
That was good. That was good.
I'm done with you guys. I'm done. I can't do this. I'm going to give this card definitely deserves a gold card. I say double gold. I think it'll be a double gold. You're going to put it in the card list with, of course, Mockingbird, the Mysterios, the what's it called? The Broods. Not the Broods. The Mysterios, the Mockingbirds, all those wonderful cards. So you can get this card as low as possible in cost. And of course, with Shang-Chi not being around, not really existing, this 10 power card is going to be phenomenal. I think Shang-Chi should be able to destroy 9 cost cards again. Maybe it'll come back to life. Nonetheless, double gold for me. Yes. Guess how you feel about it.
I think Sasquatch was my highest rated card going into the season, and it still is going into this week after experiencing this season so far, as good as Blink is. All of us, the community, should have yet to have been proved wrong that good stats are good stats. And this card is regularly just a straight up 5/10 because you're playing any card on turn 4. So this is never a 6/10. This is always a 5/10 at most. And to even have turn 3 playing 2 cards. Okay, that's very common. This is now a 4/10. Got it. Just that piece of it alone with flexibility, not having to have the restriction of Cull Obsidian, not having to have the restriction of being alone in its own lane or having a void pop out into another spot or giving -1 to all your other cards. This is just a damn good card. Beefy stats are beefy stats, and they are yet to be proven as a bad thing in Marvel Snap. This is the best card of the season. It is a platinum card, hands down, just like its beautiful coloration.
Yeah, listen, I'm all about that BDE, guys. We got the merch shop. I said Big Deck Energy. I love big, powerful cards, Paul.
Bro, you gotta enunciate that better.
He said that, really?
What's wrong with
Oh, no.
I love that. What I say?
First, okay, behind the scenes, curtain gone again. This is coming from the man who in our PWROn team meeting earlier tonight wanted a meat channel, show me your meat channel in our PWROn Discord, which was his interpretation of I need a show me your food, grilling, whatever channel. He wanted a show me your meat channel. That didn't go over well.
I'll speak to that, guess. I'll speak to that because I think that was far more politically correct than what he put on Twitter when you were cooking outside. He said he loved that black meat. I'm just saying.
These are facts as well. And now here we are again. And here we are again. You know what? With your big deck energy.
I did say Big Deck Energy.
Yeah, but when you mumble like a bumble, like Sasquatch,
sounds like Big Deck.
Deck. It's not an
oh my
but an
gosh. Oh man, it cracks me up. All right, so show me your meat channel. It's about food because it's Memorial Day weekend for those who are celebrating it. Guest put out a great post on X of him chopping up that meat and all the juices coming out of it.
Oh dear God!
It was.
Please don't get us canceled. It's already on a channel called X.
What?
You want to put it also now in this context? You awful
I don't
human
understand.
being.
I am talking about food.
You have a child. Yes, you do.
I'm talking about food. Food, ladies and gentlemen.
I can't
Food.
do this show.
Nonetheless,
I can't do this show.
back to my statement. I think Sage is the best card this season because I think
Now
she
you're
can get
seasoning it with Sage. Great.
Yes, season it with Sage. She can get vertically way higher and powerful than the Sasquatch. Okay, but nonetheless, Sino, let me give you a chance to talk.
He needs a chance to breathe.
What's your take?
I don't even know what I'm doing on this show right now. I should have walked off. All right. I know I had a question. Does it work with Mysterio or no? It doesn't. Mysterio. Yes, it does work Mysterio like that. All right. So it would come down through. Okay.
Yeah.
Turn 3 with Mysterio.
I would give this platinum. Definitely giving this platinum. This card's gonna be cracked.
You can play this and Mockingbird.
Love the
on
big
turn
power.
6.
Love the cost reduction. Whenever you, this is awesome. I love this card. Let's go. This is actually one of the ones I was looking forward to. So let's do it.
Shang-Chi rate will go through the roof, ladies and gentlemen. Shang-Chi will be back.
Maybe now that stock is down, who knows?
He'll be back. He'll be back because this is going to be bananas. This alone
is going to be nice.
So, like Guest mentioned, right? You even if you play Shuri on 5, this is a wrap, right? This is definitely going in that lane. Like Hope getting this out earlier, like it's just going to be so crazy. It's an easier combo than the She-Hulk waiting to skip a turn all the way in the 7th turn of Magic. Like this is going to be bananas. But I don't count it as the best card. I still think Sages, but let's get out of that. So you do the platinum.
What?
Guess give it. Oh, that's true too.
I can see a little Mockingbird going with this too.
I was saying Mockingbird is going to be crazy with it.
Yeah.
You give it a platinum. I'm giving it a double gold. So let's see what happens.
No,
when
it's
it comes
platinum.
Out.
It's definitely platinum. Might even go double platinum.
Tune in next week and find out who was right.
Find out. Yeah, exactly.
Facts. All right. So now we're on to the wonderful next topic, which of course is our predictions on Snap's next mode to keep the game fresh this summer. So they did mention that they're trying to make it, something is going to come out this summer to hopefully rejuvenate the game, make us all be super pumped and excited about it. Who wants to go first? Would you like to go first?
Sure.
Guess makes it seem like I don't pick you at all. So let's go ahead.
All right. New mode I could see working out, making it easily coded or easily programmed to do in the state of Snap that we have right now. I'm thinking 2v2. 2v2. So in my mind,
easily coded. Wow. Okay.
In my mind, and how we keep it almost like how we have right now. In my mind is I would get dealt 3 cards. Then my partner would get dealt 3 cards also. And we would take turns all the way to turn 6 in playing, right? So basically we'd share one deck, but we'd get 3 cards from each. You know what I mean? 3 cards from dealt from that deck. You know what I mean? So we're basically sharing one deck, and we got to help each other kind of make these combos play out to kind of win. You know what I'm saying? So I would get 3 cards from the jump of the game. You would get 3 cards from the jump of the game, and then we would be dealt out basically just exactly how the game goes. Each turn you get a new card basically.
So starting off, we pick a deck of 6. And then we jump into a game because there's 12 cards in the deck.
Right.
And
exactly.
Of course, we start off with our first cards. I don't think we should both start off with 3. We probably should both start with 2. All right. So this way, because when you play Snap now, you start with 4, right? So
4.
We both start with 2,
we start 2. Right? Okay. I like it.
And then we go through our deck.
And then basically, just play Snap how we usually do, except we alternate turns. Obviously, one would go, then the next, then the next, then the next. We all get our card, but we basically have, it's kind of like spades when you play off your partner. You know what I mean? You got to know what your partner has, your partner doesn't have. You know what I mean? So you got to play off your partner. So if he's setting up Wong, I'm going to set up the Ironheart or the Surfer or whatever. You know what I mean? If I already put Mystique on the wall. So you basically play off your partner. That's what I think they should do for a new mode. 2v2. It's not that hard to really change. It's pretty much under the same guidelines of Snap And I think it's something different, and you could play with your homies. You could play, tournaments this way. It's like a tag
I
team
think
type
it'd be
thing.
fun.
Yeah, that's my idea. That's what I would bring to the table.
Okay, I like it. We could probably do that PWROn, right?
Let's go. That would be dope.
Right, we draft 6 cards. That'd be fun. All right, guess how about you? How you feel? What mode do you think should come out? Make this game more fresh, hot for the summer.
I like the idea of a tower mode. So a climb the tower leaderboard mode, and allow me to explain. First off, you can't buy any wins. It's literally just you getting matched up. So imagine a tower has infinite number of floors, right? The first 5 floors are all bots every time, right? And it's just a regular match of Snap. Just a best of 1, like you're in ladder. You win those 5, then you end up on the 6th floor. On the 6th floor, now you start getting paired up against humans. And you go as many games in a row winning. And you can only go as high as you win. So if you lose, you go back down. Plain and simple.
Not to cut you off, guess, but it's kind of like Mortal Kombat. No, remember in Mortal Kombat?
Show your might. As I said,
exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
Show me your might. Right.
Exactly.
Pause.
Climb on up. The highest, how many wins in a row can you get, kind of a thing. And that's like and you can do it in your 4 regions, just like how you have the infinite leaderboard. Just do it in the 4 regions. What's the highest level of the tower were you able to climb? And the top 25% or whatever, get certain rewards. Top 50% get another set of rewards. 75% get, thanks for playing rewards. Something along those lines, right? And I think that would be something interesting, because now your Snap equity has long-term ramifications, and you really have to, deck build a little differently. Even if it didn't mean you go all the way down to the very bottom, maybe you just lose 5 ranks if you lose, or if you retreat, you lose 2 ranks, but can't safeguard yourself with power-ups. It's just a competitive mode of trying to climb the ladder. And I think that being all mixed up is different than Infinite Ladder, where Infinite Ladder, you end up, the top 100 people, for example, they all know each other because they all play each other all the time. Right. And now they're playing a different game of Marvel Snap, which is I'm not playing my opponent. I'm not playing my opponent's deck. I'm playing my opponent. I know that Lammy likes to play like this, so I'm going to play against him because I'm matched up against him this way. And an hour ago, he was playing this deck, so I'm already ahead of the game. Like, that's a whole nother Marvel Snap. I'm talking like whether you are on the Infinite Ladder rank 1 or still rank 70 trying to get to Infinite. In the tower mode, it's a full mixture.
You still play.
But if you get past rank level 5, if you will, of the tower, now you're in the live pool.
I like that. I like that. It reminds me of even Tekken, right? Because you start off as a first Dan or Street Fighter, and then as you continue playing your matches, you go up that kind of rank, and you play everybody from who just started beginning the game or those who've been on different levels. So I kind of like the idea. It gives some type of longevity to the game. So I kind of like that. You guys have some great ideas. My idea was more so somewhat similar to that, because playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, they have something called King of Games, which kind of reminds me of Infinite. Once you get that, now you continue playing, but as you play, you're getting rewards nonstop. So you're not just getting the basic, just opening the cash from the battle pass if you pay for the battle pass. Now you're actually earning stuff as you continue to climb up that ladder. I think something like that would be great. Something new and exciting to show you that not just worrying about trying to get to number 1, but as you can, like you said, guys, as you continue winning, right, it puts you on a different level. And then when you lose, same thing like Yu-Gi-Oh!, you kind of fall back to either being King of Games or right below that, right? Because if you played any of Yu-Gi-Oh!, Duel Links or Master Duel, when you start, you're starting off at bronze. Then you have to go to silver. Then you have to go to gold, right? And you continue up that path. So when you lose, you might drop back down to silver. But as you start the match, it will tell you, this is a promotion match. So if you win, you go to the next level. And I think that's something that I think Snap needs, whether it be after Infinite, post-Infinite, or, like you said, as a separate mode. I think that would be pretty cool.
With full mixture, I think is the key asterisk there, because that sounds a little bit like just what Ladder is, where we have the rankings, and once you get to a certain rank, you hit a
Right.
certain reward. But when you talk about you want continual
But if you
rewards,
lose, though, yes, but if you lose, you come back down. You see, unlike rank, once you go infinite, you're not going to drop. Well, you kind of do after. So I get what you're saying. But yeah, you still need rewards. I think you should get some type of rewards for
would that be
continually
abused?
grinding. Could it be abused? I don't think so. How? How can it be abused?
Farmers. Just think about conquest farmers right now that just farm season pass experience to get a ridiculous amount of caches. They get to three locations reveal, retreat on turn 4. Sorry, at the end of turn 3 on the reveal. I think about that kind of stuff as abusive, and that's my only concern on that kind of mode, because I like the idea of having another inner, like post infinite reward track, so you have something else to work towards. Because there are many people in this game, especially those who listen to this podcast, that push for infinite and sometimes get it within hours of the new season, and then it's like, all right, what? Well, what else are you pushing towards? Conquest? No.
My journey's over. Or top 100.
Yeah, it's like, and sometimes no matter how many hours you play, you're not getting any better. I'm only so much.
Sleep, you wake up,
and then the next,
don't go to sleep.
Day it drops, and then the next season it goes like just completely drops. Like something after infinite, I agree with. We need something else after infinite, already integrated into ladder, but that's a topic for another cocktail.
Yes, agreed. Or make conquest the final conquest, the infinite conquest, the last 2 weeks. Why must I wait for the last week? When if I'm trying to grind to get to infinite, I got to stop. Like, okay, I need to go play Conquest, right? Either way, we could definitely talk about this another episode of the podcast. But yeah, I like the ideas, guys. Great ideas. I like the 2v2. I like guests' idea as well. You guys let us know down below in the comments what you guys think should do. What should come out this summer and make Snap even better. So now we're going to go on to series drop. We know we have a bunch happening in June. We wanted to see what cards do we feel besides those that would be an awesome card to drop in series. Now you can pick one, you can pick two, pick as much as you want. But I think the card I think most that needs to drop in series is the one and only Blob. I think Blob needs to come down, just one. Bring Blob down to Series 4. That card is tamed now. It used to be a problem when it had that crazy ability with no ceiling. Now that it has a ceiling, Blob hasn't getting any love. I think just like Null, if you bring it down in a series, a lot of people were playing it. We're going to see a lot of cool different things happen with it. So I'm going to go with Blob.
You don't think Blob's still a big bad? You think he's light work now?
I don't think he was a big bad to begin with.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think
OG
so.
phase?
Blob is
Like,
like the original Blob? Because the
original
Blob
was a problem.
Yeah, he was a gangster.
That's why I said he had no
gangster bad.
If he remained with no ceiling, 100% he stays at 5. We don't want that down there, okay? But because they nerfed him, definitely bring him down. Let's give him a look because we're not playing him. The Series 5 owners are not playing Blob anymore. So after Thanos got nerfed, nobody's really touching Blob. So bring him down a notch. Let the people play with him. Let's see what the other people feel about it, how they feel about Blob, and what they can do with it. That's how I feel. Guess what cards do you have to come down in series?
I primarily think about cards that create major archetypes. I think about cards like Black Knight, right? Because you can't play a Black Knight deck without Black Knight, and when it's an integral piece to a full archetype, I think it should be more easily available to the community.
Accessible.
I think that because it's not mandatory in one aspect, because there's a billion different deck combinations that you can put together. But to play any variation of a Black Knight deck, you have to have Black Knight, right? But you can substitute out Blob with another big card. But Blob is better than those other big cards in the scenarios you would want to use Blob. So leaving him at Series 5 is one thing, but Black Knight being Series 4 instead of being Series 5 makes more sense, because 3,000 tokens, now I have incentive to play a Black Knight deck.
That's fair.
Very, very similarly, I make that same argument for Galactus, because you can't play a Galactus deck without Galactus. It's an archetype defining card. And
A little hard to do, right?
exactly. And let's also make it very clear that Second Dinner no longer recognizes the term Big Bad.
Big Bad, yeah.
Officially, that's been retired for those who were not aware of it.
Right.
That term no longer exists. So that's what, and I look at like Darkhawk as being the justification for seeing something like Galactus drop down, for seeing even Annihilus going from Series 5 to Series 4, drop that down. You know, bring those archetype defining cards to Series 4
down to Series 4
rather than having them be in Series 5, because now you're opening your flexibility. But in regards to series cards that I would like to see go to Series 3, that more people should have earlier access to, that creates unique gameplay, I'd say Legion. I think Legion is a really, really fun card, especially if you can get that early in your collection in Series 3. That's like, that presents such a unique deck building opportunity all by itself, but it's not archetype defining. He's a very good standalone card, which I really like. So I'd say probably bringing Legion down into Series 3 would make the most sense for me.
Okay.
Just as similarly,
I would never want to subject. I would never want to suggest early players trying to complete Series 3 with a Legion. They got to deal with Legion in their meta. That's just. It's just bad. It's just bad.
Is it?
It's fun though. They got Storm. They got Storm, Legion.
But here's the thing: the appearance actually goes down if you bring it to Series 3, because as of right now,
that's true.
You get your spotlight caches. You're getting up in the very beginning of your series, adventures. You're getting 3 to 4 cards per week, depending on how many caches you're getting. On average, you get 2.5 new cards per week. Completely free to play the second you enter into that realm of spotlights. So you're going to be more likely to get Legion rather than less likely right now.
That's true.
I just meant he'd be more played, therefore wreaking havoc on our early players and making them throw their phones.
They already got to deal with Hella. They can deal with this.
Plus, they got to deal with a lot of other shit too, right? Because they could have went and got their Galactus early.
You guys are unforgiving. Damn. Like, look at both of you just jumping up at the fact to make them suffer.
It's the real world out there, guys.
Wow.
Right. Sino, what about you? What cards you? What card?
I'm gonna go with Man Thing dropping from Series 4 to Series 3. I think that's something fun for beginning players to also get to utilize.
Not play, yeah.
And I don't think he's worth being in Series 4 either. I think he should be dropped down. I don't think he's that Series 2 dynamic of a card. So I'm gonna go with Man Thing.
All right, awesome, man. Guys get awesome choices. Way better than mine. Jeez, gosh. All right. Guys ain't playing tonight. They on fire, ladies and gentlemen. They are on fire. Now, to our wonderful final topic of tonight. I know you guys definitely liked the top five cost cards on the last episode. We got conversations starting in chat and on our X and everywhere else. I saw Guest did a nice little clip of his top 5 in Vision. That's right. We didn't put Vision on our card list. But you know what? Since we spoke about that, have you guys seen Vision in any card? I haven't seen Vision being played at all. I don't know. Maybe he got pushed.
Let me know how that Black Panther's doing then too. All right, how about that?
Maybe
how's that Taskmaster feel? Feels real fucking good.
Taskmaster is still being played.
Taskmaster is the truth right now.
He's still being played.
Black Panther, fine. All right, Vision, fine. All right.
I was gonna let you slide on the Black Panther because he wasn't on my list. Okay, but then you brought in Taskmaster, which brought me in here. Okay,
Wakanda forever, damn it, Wakanda forever. All right, so we decided to go with our top 3 threes. So last time, the guys gave me shit for picking my numbers in the wrong order, even though I got the end goal correct of saying the last card, the best card, as number 5. Now we're going to do it the opposite way. We're going to do it the way that it should be done.
The real way?
We're going to start from 3
right way
to 1.
Yeah.
All right. So I will go first, and I'll give you guys my top 3 threes. Starting with number 3, the one and only Magic. Magic is a great 3-cost card. One of the best out there. Is in a lot of card lists right now. Give it that extra turn. Magic was broken back in the day. On turn 6, you could play Magic. Felt so good. Also felt so wrong. My number 2 3-cost card is the one and only, the best card this season, Sage. That card is phenomenal. I've seen some banana numbers with it. Even without Wong, that card can go up to at least 8. I think it's a phenomenal card. Stays under the Shang-Chi range.
The top 3 threes, and she's in there. She's in there already.
Yeah, she's number 2.
Oh, okay. My bad. All right.
And my number 1, the best 3-cost card in the game, hands down, is Storm. Storm has the best variants in the game. Storm is one of the best lockdown cards in the game. Storm, early in the days when I used to play Snap, was the way I used to win. Storm, Jessica Jones, Storm, Storm, Sunspot. Storm has been around from day one, and Storm is still kicking ass to this day. Storm with War Machine, Storm with anything. Storm is my number 1 3-cost card.
You got to hit the saying when you say Storm. Hit the saying, bro.
Of course. Wind aid my
hand. There we go, bro. You got to give it out. There you go.
All right. Sino, give us your 3 threes, baby. Want me hear it?
First off, Magic. Magic, this is the worst one we've had to do because there were so many good
100%
great fucking 3-cost cards to make a top 3.
We could list top 10 of them.
This shit is
easy.
Terrible.
Yes,
like this was the worst experience I've ever had.
For the interest of time, we had to only pick 3.
Yes, exactly.
Could we be here all night?
But my number 3 is going to be Corvus Glaive.
Corvus,
I love Corvus for discard. I love Corvus for just regular. Yeah, see? I love Corvus for just generally cheating out energy and higher cost cards early. Great for Hela, even though he seems to just magnetize on Hela. When you have Hela in your hand, you're like, don't hit Hela. And it fucking hits her every time. But they code that. Hell Cow, all of them. They all do it. But yeah, Corvus is my number 3 cost. Number 2 is Hope Summers. You can tell in my theme here, this is to me, I just love cheating out that energy, just getting out those high cost cards early.
To cheat,
and really, I love to cheat out that big deck energy.
Great pronunciation, sir.
Thank you.
Absolutely fantastic.
Stop, please.
Beautiful.
Big deck meat. That's what I heard. I heard big deck meat energy.
We're canceled.
When I post this, how do I put the explicit E rating again?
Yes. God, you need to put the symbol just over his face.
We're trying to get monetized, dude. Like,
come on, man.
Don't like and subscribe and do not show us your meat, please. Right?
Number 2, Hope Summers. Wow, bro. Really? Get it together, man. Someone's drunk. Hope Summers number 2. Number 1, of course, and I'm not gonna let my boy go, even though they won't bring him back. He's still the number 1 3-cost in mine and y'all heart. Silver fucking Surfer. Let's go, Silver Surfer, number 1. And it would be better if he was +3, guys, but he's not. He's +2.
Yeah,
but it's all right. There was a time when he was +3 and life was great. And old Zabu ruled supreme and life was just great for your boy top 5. And then the fun police came around and they nerfed them.
No, not the fun, the fix police.
This fucking guy. But Surfer number 1, guys. Let's go.
Shocker there.
This was terrible. This was horrible to pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this sucked. Sitting through the pile of 3-cost cards, I'm like, I could, but do I cut? Oh my God. Like, it was just nonstop going,
Yep.
I want to keep this. I want to get rid of this. I want to keep this. I want to get rid of this. So I ended up at a top 5 and I'm sitting here going, uh-oh, what do we do now? You know? Yeah. A full on Sino moment. So I'm going to go, as much as I love my Luke Cage and my Gladiator, I'm going to shelve them and show you my real top 5.
See, look at that. Great cards.
Great cards. Yeah. But I'm going to show you my top 5.
Oh,
that's my number 3. Juggernaut. Look at you predicting the future, man. My number 3 is Juggernaut.
I was like, I shouldn't say shit. Like, don't say shit.
No, it's perfect.
One of his cards.
That's a volley. and
Yeah.
Juggernaut that shit over. Like that
Let's
was
go.
no, but it's true though. Juggernaut is
Yeah,
the
that's a great
stealer
card.
Kings,
of
baby. Let's
cubes.
go.
He is the
Cubes, yep.
stealer of cubes regularly,
Right.
and yet still one of the most underplayed cards in Marvel's Snap, including by myself.
You're right.
You never feel bad having him in your deck because how it's like Quake. You always feel good having it there. But it's also one of the first things you end up deciding, you know what, I could probably cut this, right? That's the sad part about it. But the second you stick with it, you remember, this is good. This is really good.
If you guys are paying Cannonball out there and loving it, then you gotta love Juggernaut too, right?
100%. 100%. End quote. Ken. Number 2, I'm also throwing in Hope Summers because Hope Summers is consistently opening up new combo lines all by herself, new options of how to play the game, and not in a broken manner, because there is a little bit of predictability to it, even though she's a good stat line and giving you energy simultaneously. She's just underneath that threshold of being a problem. And I love when I have the opportunity to play those kinds of cheat, get lots of energy out there, you know, accumulated to use, because you can negate things with Mobius, right? You can get restricted in a variety of different ways in this game, but she is unrestrictable except for what? Red Guardian? Like that's really it.
But he's a 3 cost too, right? Jesus.
Exactly.
Yes,
and he's a great 3 cost.
That was a tough one.
He was in there. He was in that list for me too, but
he's a great card.
He's a great card. And 3 costs. And this is why we like our comment sections, because we want to hear what everybody else's 3 costs are. But
please let us know, guys. Let us know.
But my number 1 today, I will be playing the role of Sino, where I will be enjoying the fact that I share my number 1 with Ken. It's Storm.
Yes.
Look at the disappointment on Sino's face.
He thought it was going to be Surfer. Hell no.
Because last week, Sino and Ken shared the same number 1. This week, I share the same number 1 with Ken, because Storm is just regularly its own win condition, nonstop and early. And it negates locations. It allows for great play lines. You can cheat into it later on, whether it's War Machine or move cards, or like there's so many cool things that you can do via the agency of what Storm does. And I love that. And a Storm deck is almost always a good positive win rate deck. But mastering a Storm deck can just bring you to the next level. And I think Storm, hands down, is the most influential 3-cost card out of any deck you put it in, including Silver Surfer, which I love me my Silver Surfer. It's my favorite archetype to play. I'm with you.
Who brings the best out of Storm? Surfer brings the best out of Storm. Yes,
I love. I even bought an order for my Silver Surfer. Okay, that's how much I love my Silver Surfer. But it's just not that. It's just not as good as any of those, and that's saying something.
Aid my hand. Listen,
Surfer doesn't even get a say. We get like a sound.
Storm.
That's it.
Yo,
That's
you can Storm. That's right. I love that sound. I ain't gonna lie to you. When I play Storm, when I play Surfer on Wong, pause. I love that sound. Listen, nonetheless, Storm into Brood is one of the best combos you could do in a Surfer.
Why was it the Duracell theme?
Exactly. Come on, guys. Yo, I can't talk here on this channel. I can't talk on this podcast. You know what? I swear, I bet you other podcasters don't deal with this. Well, I'm sure the Snapchat don't deal with this.
Not sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored.
I'm sure they don't deal with this madness. What was guest podcast called again? That one too. The Snapback. I'm sure they don't deal with that either. All right. This is some madness. I can't even speak on this. Yes, we're gonna ask Britt. I'm gonna call him Dan no more. His name is Britt to me. So right now.
Oh my god!
You don't even put your username on the screen. Just put Ken. You know,
Ken. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know me as Ken. All right. My other name is right here. You guys can see it. Don't worry about it. SuperTechGod. Britt. Yeah, your mama named you Britt. Calling you Britt now. That's his name.
Wow, disrespectful.
Look, I stayed at the man's house during SnapCon last year. It feels weird calling him Default Dan in front of his wife. You know,
that's funny.
It's
Yeah,
really
see?
weird. So,
You don't call him just Dan. You call him the whole default Dan.
Yeah, no,
it's
why
even
would you
weirder to call him Dan.
The
It's not
fuck?
his damn name. It's
Right.
Brit,
It's Brit.
which is a
I'ma call him
name
the
in and of
monster next
itself.
time I
Let's
see
just, you
Hey,
want to talk
yo.
about white?
Yeah.
That's another story. Look,
I'm gonna call him the monster. The monster Brit in the building. shout out to Brit. Default
So-
Dan.
All right, would you? All right,
I'm
all right.
taking
we
back
saw
over the
Rick,
role of
like,
STG for the
17
outro
It's
here.
a
So,
drinking game
look,
now,
thank
guys.
you. Thank you all so much
Oh,
for listening to
man.
this
It's a drinking game now.
amazing episode here
Brit.
of the Marvel Snapback
Britcast.
podcast.
Snapback.
Once again, see what I'm doing here? Yeah, I'm pulling it all together. We're trying to pull Brit back in here. You see what I'm doing here? Yep, this is Snapback.
Yeah,
Not the
that's right.
Snapcast, it's a Snapback, right? So we're merging it. Fuck it. This is now officially the Beyond
Sino
Infinite
game.
podcast, brought to you by Marvel Snapcast back. There. We're just gonna cover all the bases. That's been Loot Muncher.
heard?
This is Valentine. Y'all have a wonderful
right.
night. Thank you so much.